It's Friday, June 16th, 2023, and here's what's shaking at the Almond Alliance. I'm Aubrey Betancourt, your president and CEO of the Almond Alliance, the voice of American almonds in Sacramento, Washington, D.C., and beyond. We're heading into the hot and heavy summer. Welcome to June. It's one of my favorite months. We know you're all out there, and it's been busy, and we still have a lot of water coming off of those mountains. We know we're still looking at flooding down in the South Valley as that Tulare Lake continues to fill up. I flew over it just last week. It was incredible and a sight to see as far west as it stretches. Of course, as always, we have materials for you with regards to your ability to take some of that flood water for flood mitigation and protection. Please reach out to us at almondalliance.org to learn more about how you can be a participant in solving the problem around flooding, as well as getting credit for that aquifer recharge, especially in some of those eastern areas where we have such critically overdrafted basins, and we have a lot of opportunity to utilize that water for runoff to recharge our aquifer while protecting our communities from flooding. Which leads me into the launch of LandFlex 2.0 this week. LandFlex Phase 2 has been announced in 4 GSAs, specifically along that southeast side there. We've got Mid-Cahuilla, Pixley, Lower Tule irrigation, as well as the west side GSA out towards Westlands in that I-5 corridor. That portal opened up on June 14th this week. We've been doing trainings with that. You've seen a lot of activity back on social media. Go check out the podcast. You'll learn more as you talk to your other technical assistance providers, Western United Dairies, Almond Alliance, CAF, and Self-Help. Again, landflex.org. If you're even just thinking you might be interested in this program as something that might be a tool for you, go ahead and apply. Our technical assistance team can start working with you to make sure that you are maximizing the program for you, making sure it works for you, or maybe it doesn't. But either way, it all starts with that application. So go to landflex.org to apply today. That portal will be open for 2 weeks. As you know a lot about LandFlex, this is a program that helps provide immediate financial incentive for immediate well protection, groundwater recharge, and for facilitates groundwater recharge, and assists with SGMA compliance and the transition to SGMA compliance in some of our overdrafted basins. So again, go to landflex.org, especially if you're in one of those GSAs that has a lot of high potential for recharge. This is becoming an increasing component in the consideration of the things from the state around incentive structures. And again, it's about how we as farmers utilizing our own resources are a part of the solution both in times of drought as well as in times of flood. We're so thankful to our partners at the Department of Water Resources and continue to work with them through this idea of conjunctive use management to create a more sustainable and reliable water supply statewide, not just immediately, but longer term. So we're making good progress in there, and see how that works. It's the policy, it's the program, it all dovetails. That's what we do at the Almond Alliance. We provide these services and we act as that voice and nexus at bringing those resources back home to you. So along those lines, what have we been working on? Sacramento's hot and heavy in the middle of budget, and man, has it been fun, and it's been extreme and intense. The governor announced his infrastructure package, which included some extremely great and new proposals around, well, actually, they're not new. These are proposals around streamlining environmental review, streamlining permitting processes, streamlining court order processes around infrastructure development and infrastructure investment in California. Best way I can describe this to you is all those stadiums that get built in record time, and we all go, wait a minute, but what about those water bonds we passed? And how do we get our reservoirs built? And how do we get roads built? Well, it's these cumbersome environmental review processes that are, quite frankly, very out of date, that get waived on certain specific projects. The governor has introduced into his proposal opportunities to create a new streamline process, similar to what they do for those stadiums, that could actually help fulfill the promises that have been made to us for so long on these infrastructure developments. More importantly, whether your motivation is because you want to see a new green energy grid, or you just want to see farmers farming and have reliable water supplies to our farms, our fish, and our rural communities, the reality of it is to address the modern infrastructure needs of this state and the modern priorities we set on how we live. If you want to address issues of climate change, and you want to be a true climate leader, and you want to be truly sustainable, we've got to adopt policies like this. We've got to invest in our infrastructure. The infrastructure is key to facing the future and the challenges that we have and achieving the goals that we've set for ourselves. So if you want to be progressive and cool, streamline the hell out of that process, and let's get building, and let's get good infrastructure to support our economy and to support our our modern vision for what the world should look like and what we could do and what we know we can do in California. So we've always talked about our out-of-date infrastructure and the out-of-date policies behind it. This is trying to address a lot of that. So we've been working very actively on that in Sacramento, and it's been an interesting process. We've been right in the middle of the decision-making and leading the way on this conversation, really making the case for how this all plays together and why now is the time. It's about time we get out of our own damn way. Plus, there's about $180 billion worth of federal infrastructure funding that if we don't get these roadblocks out of the way, we're going to miss out on in California. And God knows we need the investment in our infrastructure. I mean, drought to flood. What more do we need to talk about? So that's been on the state side. On the federal side, we've been hot and heavy on Farm Bill. This week was the deadline for submissions from members of Congress into the agricultural committees as they begin the drafting process around the Farm Bill. The Almond Alliance submitted about 14 unique and individual proposals into Farm Bill, and we've had some amazing interactions with folks from across the California delegation and even beyond within the agricultural caucuses, both on the Senate and the House side. Both parties, we've been working both sides of the aisle. We want to give a special shout out to Speaker McCarthy's office as we've worked with them on this, and really working to address some certain issues that are specific to almonds, as well as some broader issues, everything from AGI reforms to NAP coverage for our almonds, as well as even some nuances around research and invasive species, especially looking at, again, kind of some similar drought CREP and some other priorities in that space. You can learn more about these priorities by visiting our website, almondalliance.org. And if you are a member of ours, you're probably getting our Almond Advantage, which is this great publication we put out where you can get updates from our team in Washington, D.C. about this and more. So we're actively working through. It's been a lot of Zoom calls. It's been a lot of meetings. Our team's been on the ground. I'm getting phone calls from the Hill. We're going to head out there soon as well to start to continue up on these dialogues and really handhold our priorities through, maximize this Farm Bill process. So really want to thank a lot of our committees who are going to be meeting next week who have helped us design these policies. You see, this is how it works. We start on the ground, we work it backwards, we turn it into the policy or regulatory state that we need it to be in, and we go to work and do what we do with our fantastic team of experts. Coming up on the horizon in June is our membership renewal, so keep an eye out for your membership renewal in your inbox or in your mail, and we look forward to you rejoining us. And if you're not a member, if you've got a friend who's not a member, go nudge them, wink them, kick them, incentivize them, whatever it takes. Because we'd love to have you as part of our team. We're better and stronger when you're a part of it. We get a lot of our information from you. We do build it from the ground up. And we always keep our eyes on the horizon of how we can continue to be sophisticated and successful long into the future. Now, I'm not going to not talk about the elephant in the room. We have seen a dip in our shipping. And I think a lot of that has to do, there's a lot of talk around what's going on. We all know we have to move our carryout if we're going to be on pace for August 1st. We had some amazing months, 6 months of highest record shipping, over 240 million pounds a month. We've seen a dip in that. I think a lot of that is global economy. Encourage folks to keep moving product, encourage folks to keep helping to move that backlot. We've got a lot of new progress made on the shipping side. In terms of just supply chain, we've got a new Union Pacific rail line going from Oakland to Houston. There are routes to move our product, but we got to keep selling it. We got to get it off the shelves so we can get ourselves right-sized heading into this year's season. As you saw, USDA has delayed their objective. That's going to be coming out sometime in July, and we'll keep our eyes around, I think July 12th is when we'll keep our eyes on that. But we want to wish you all the best as you're out there working hard and making it through. We know there's a lot of challenges. We are working on them. Just got off the phone and working our team with Senator Padilla's office on trade and a number of others. We don't stop because you don't stop. We got a lot more. Hold tight, stay strong, keep your head down, move forward, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.